My next upload was going to be a video about the automotive industry that piggybacked on the one that I already released last, but I came across this article regarding Coinbase getting hacked, and I have an account with Coinbase. It's just a small amount, it's nothing earth-shattering. It's just like a little hobby amount, just a little bit here and there, just kind of getting involved in the game. I think I first got on Coinbase probably around 2021, and yeah, I just figured I'd play the lottery just like anybody else. Some people, they put a little bit into something and it goes up like 1,000x, hits the moon. They put in like $100 and now they're a millionaire, something like that. But anyway, so yeah, Coinbase got hacked recently, sort of hacked, not exactly hacked. They actually had some insiders that were working in Coinbase, and they gained authorization, or they gained access into certain areas of Coinbase that they weren't authorized to be in, and they were essentially held for ransom for millions of dollars. So I will go ahead and read that article and see how that unfolded. This is on bleepingcomputer.com. It's actually a pretty resourceful website. I actually just came across this recently. I'm sure it's been around for a long time, but I'm just now finding out about this website, scrolling around a little bit, and they've got a pretty decent presence on X as well. And yeah, they're posting current events about hacking and data breaches, and not just like the cryptocurrency thing, but even government-related hacks and cybersecurity information, malware, spyware, all that stuff. Anything that seems to be tech-related in the current events space, they are on top of it. So yeah, for this one, Coinbase data breach exposes customer info and government IDs. Not good. This came out on May 15th, 2025, 9:28 a.m. So Coinbase, a cryptocurrency exchange with over 100 million customers, has disclosed that cybercriminals working with rogue support agents stole customer data and demanded a $20 million ransom not to publish the stolen information. Coinbase said they would not pay the ransom, but they would establish a $20 million reward fund for any leads that could help find the attackers who coordinated this attack. So, anybody out there who's listening, the dozens of people who might stumble across this video, if you have inside information regarding this hack, you could find yourself $20 million richer, as long as you inform Coinbase and it leads to an arrest of an individual or individuals. So anyway, the disclosure comes after the criminals behind the breach emailed Coinbase on May the 11th, demanding a $20 million ransom to prevent public disclosure of stolen information about certain customer accounts and internal documentation. According to Coinbase, the attackers obtained this customer data with the help of contractors or support staff outside the U.S. who were paid to access internal systems. Coinbase fired the insiders, so they've got some idea as to who is behind this. At least they know who gave the access to certain individuals. But anyway, Coinbase fired the insiders after they were detected while accessing systems without authorization, but not before they exfiltrated information from those devices. While the threat actors managed to steal a combination of personally identifiable information of up to 1% of Coinbase's customer base, which is about a million individuals, they couldn't steal customers' private keys or passwords, and they could not access Coinbase Prime accounts and hot or cold wallets, which are belonging to affected customers or the crypto exchange. In a filing with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, the SEC, the company says the data stolen in this incident includes names, addresses, phone numbers, and email addresses, as well as masked Social Security numbers, which means that it's only the last 4 digits of the customer's Social Security number. So they didn't get the entire social, they got the last 4 digits, which in many cases, that's bad enough. They also got masked bank account numbers and some bank account identifiers. So basically the same thing. They probably didn't get the entire 9-digit bank account number or maybe 10-digit bank account number. They only got some of the digits of the bank account. So probably being rendered basically useless, which now it sounds like maybe that's why Coinbase wasn't willing to pay such an extraordinary amount of money to prevent this information from going out. Maybe that might be why. That kind of makes sense to me. However, they did get a hold of government ID images, such as driver's licenses and passports. That's not good. as well as account data, balance snapshots, and transaction history. And let's see, limited corporate data, including documents, training material, and communications available to support agents. Quote, cybercriminals bribed and recruited a group of rogue overseas support agents to steal Coinbase customer data to facilitate social engineering attacks. These insiders abused their access to customer support systems to steal the account data for a small subset of customers, end quote, Coinbase said in a Thursday blog post. Quote, no passwords, private keys, or funds were exposed, and Coinbase Prime accounts are untouched. We will reimburse customers who were tricked into sending funds to the attacker. So it should go without saying, you should never send your information to anybody. There's a lot of people who are trying to do phishing scams, spear phishing scams, just social engineering techniques, just trying to pretend that they know you, or they're pretending to be of some official capacity, like somebody who's representing your bank or something like that. You know, all of this stuff, it should be common knowledge at this point. You don't ever click on links that people send to you in an email and things like that, especially in SMS messaging or text messages through your phone. Those are getting rampant. I get those all the time. I'm sure everybody's getting them all the time. I mean, I get them sometimes on a daily basis, and out of nowhere, I get joined into group chats, and I have no idea who these people are. But I have a very recognizable phone number, so maybe that's why. I mean, I don't know if I'd call it recognizable, but it's a very, very easy phone number to remember, to the point where whenever somebody asks for my phone number, I'll give them my number and they'll say, wow, you got pretty lucky with that one. So yeah, that's why I had it for, I don't know, 10, 15 years at this point. But it's kind of a curse because I get spam calls all the time and get text messages from people I don't know, and that's probably why. So anyway, the expected losses, as you've probably already read on screen, are expected to reach up to $400 million. So if that's really the case, maybe they should have paid the $20 million. While the financial impact is still being assessed, and Coinbase didn't reveal how many customers were deceived into sending funds to the attackers in follow-up social engineering attacks, the company estimates that the resulting expenses will be within the range of approximately $180 to $400 million for remediation and customer reimbursements. Coinbase added that it will open a new support hub in the U.S. They'll reimburse affected customers tricked into sending funds to the attackers following social engineering attacks, and they'll increase investments in insider threat detection, security threat simulation, and automated response to prevent future breach attempts. And I know that Coinbase recently announced they're going to join the S&P 500. Their stock skyrocketed, so arguably they should be in a pretty solid financial position to sort of fortify their infrastructure and try to prevent this from happening again, even though they seem to have been infiltrated by insiders, people who were already working for Coinbase. At least that's how I read it. So anyway, the company also advised customers to be suspicious of scammers impersonating Coinbase employees and attempting to trick them into transferring funds or asking them for sensitive information such as passwords or 2FA codes. I believe that stands for two-factor authentication. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think that's what it is. If this happens, the crypto exchange recommends hanging up because it never asks for account information over the phone or pressures customers into transferring assets to other wallets. To defend against similar attacks, you should enable two-factor authentication and turn on withdrawal, allow listing, which ensures secure transfers. To the customers affected, we're sorry for the worry and inconvenience this incident caused. We'll keep owning issues when they arise and investing in world-class defenses because that's how we protect our customers and keep the crypto economy safe for everyone, Coinbase added. Well, you should also work on vetting your employees a lot better too. You got to make sure that they're loyal to you and not loyal to somebody else who's trying to, I don't know, blackmail them or bribe them or try to drop millions of dollars into their lap if they give these rogue people access into this system. I mean, I can only imagine the number of the billions of dollars that Coinbase deals with. It's got to be in the tens. Maybe it would not surprise me if they deal in like over $100 billion a year in transactions. That would not surprise me at all. Anyway, quote, Coinbase will voluntarily reimburse retail customers who mistakenly send funds to the scammer as a direct result of this incident prior to the date of this post, following a review to confirm the facts, end quote. Coinbase's stock soared 24%, there you go, 24% after the crypto exchange joined the S&P 500, a stock market index that includes 500 leading companies listed on U.S. stock exchanges. A Coinbase spokesperson was not immediately available for comment when contacted by bleepingcomputer.com earlier today. So that's the article. Pretty shocking, pretty crazy. That little video, it is here. It's on X. I figured this screen would be a little bit more pleasing on the eyes to be able to watch this. So I will give this a play as soon as I get my earbud in. 2 minutes, 44 seconds. I haven't seen it yet, so I'll listen along. And, you know, if I feel like saying anything, I'll pause and give a little commentary.
Hey everyone, I want to make you aware of a disturbing email that we received recently at Coinbase. It was a ransom note demanding $20 million in Bitcoin in exchange for these attackers not releasing some information they claim to have obtained on our customers.
Okay.
Now, we like to do things transparently here at Coinbase, and so I'm going to respond publicly to these attackers by saying,
here we go.
We are not going to pay your ransom. In fact, I have a few next steps in mind that I'm going to share at the end of this video. But for the rest of you watching, wondering what happened, we did an investigation here, and these attackers have been approaching our overseas customer support agents, looking for a weak link, someone who would accept a bribe in exchange for sharing some customer information with them. Now, our support tools have limited access to customer information. There was no passwords or private keys or funds accessed as part of this.
Good.
But customer support agents do have access to personal information like name, date of birth, address, etc. And attackers still want access to this information because it allows them to conduct social engineering attacks where they can call our customers impersonating Coinbase customer support and try to trick them into sending their funds.
Social engineering. Yep.
Now, unfortunately, they were able to find a few bad apples. Our systems are designed to mitigate the impact of something like this, so less than 1% of our monthly transacting users had their records accessed, but this is still unacceptable.
Right.
And I want to tell you what we're doing about it. So first, any customers that were socially engineered as a result of this incident, we're going to reimburse them.
Good.
There's more details on our website, on our blog post about the reimbursement process. You can read more there.
Okay.
Any customers who have been impacted by this or have been notified at this point. Number two, we're hardening our systems around customer support to make something like this much more difficult in the future. And third, we're actually relocating some of our customer support operations as a result of this.
Good idea. Relocate them here to the U.S.
Important, which is that instead of paying this $20 million ransom, we're turning it around. And we're putting out a $20 million award for any information leading to the arrest and conviction of these attackers.
Woo! $20 million.
For these would-be extortionists or anyone seeking to harm Coinbase customers, know that we will prosecute you and bring you to justice. And now you have my answer.
Oh, man. He is pissed. Oh, you could just tell he's pissed off. And you know what? I would be pissed off too. Yeah, that's what he really should do. I mean, he didn't exactly elaborate on what he means by moving operations, but I'm assuming that some of these operations are probably in, I don't know, India perhaps, or maybe some other developing country where they have an English-speaking presence. And yeah, they probably got a hold of somebody who's just maybe a network engineer, or maybe just some guy who's got the credentials to get inside and get customer information. And they're like, hey, would you like to make a quick $100,000? And it could be as easy as that. I mean, depending on what country they're from, that could potentially be retirement money. I mean, it could be some serious money that they were offered. Maybe they're offered $1 million. Who knows? But yeah, they would be making a very good move by moving some of their operations to places that are more secure and where their employees can be more reliable and be more dependable to hold their allegiance to the company that they work for and not to some hacker assholes who are trying to get insider information and customer data and all that crap. So that's really interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how this shakes out. $20 million. So do you think that they're actually going to get to the bottom of who they are? $20 million, man, that is a hell of a bounty. That's like federal government, FBI top 10 most wanted list. Like, it's up in that territory. I mean, actually, I think there's only a couple of names on the FBI's most wanted list that get into $20 million territory. I don't think there's anybody out there, at least as far as the federal government's concerned, I don't think that they have a reward over $20 million for anybody. Maybe except Osama bin Laden at the time. But actually, he might have actually been even higher than that. But yeah, I mean, $20 million, I mean, that's the kind of money that's probably going to get them caught. Unless they have covered their tracks to such an insane degree, and maybe they're in some non-extradition country or something, maybe they're being protected by their government, maybe they're working for a government, could be working for the Chinese CCP, or maybe they're working for the Russian government or something, who knows? So that'll be interesting to see how that plays out. So I'm actually kind of glad that he did that he's going to look for their arrest. That's not really going to fix the situation for all the customers. I mean, look, maybe I didn't fall for the social engineering scheme, but maybe they got a hold of my driver's license, and now my driver's license is being circulated around the dark web. So even if these dudes do get caught, my personal information could potentially be circulating out there forever, because they're obtaining that information so they can make copies of it and sell it to other people. I mean, that's the game. That's what they do. That's why sometimes some people, they'll freak out like, why am I getting bombarded with all kinds of email and all kinds of spam and all kinds of text messages? I'm even getting letters in the mail. I'm getting just like attacked from all these different directions from all these people who I don't know. That's probably why. Because it could be anybody. It could be Walmart. It could be Target. It could be whoever. Best Buy. I don't know. Amazon, whatever. They could have been hacked, and your information could have been obtained, and they put your info out on the dark web, and they're selling your information for pennies, just alongside spreadsheets of millions of other customers. I mean, people, they'll pay good money for that. They might only pay like 5 cents per name, but if your name is on a spreadsheet with 56,000 other people, I mean, that kind of adds up to serious money. And all they have to do, it's all digital. All they have to do is just copy the file, copy, paste, 50,000 bucks a pop. And, that's how these assholes tend to make money. Among many other ways. That's just one of many ways that they make this kind of money. But, I mean, it's kind of a twofold thing that you give us $20 million and perhaps we won't release this information essentially to other hackers. I mean, he said we won't go public with it, but Coinbase got ahead of that, and they're like, all right, well, we already went public with it, so fuck you. But now the big question is, on my end, is what about the customers who are going to have their information just dumped onto the dark web? Because they're definitely going to at this point. I mean, these hackers, I don't think that they're going to freak out and not do anything with the information. I mean, if anything, they're probably going to try to maximize the amount of money they can make with the information they have while they still have time. Now, if they're complete shut-ins, if they're outcasts, if they don't have any friends or anything, I mean, maybe they won't get caught. I mean, it wouldn't be the first time that's happened. I'm sure there's been other massive bounties put on people, and they've been at large for years and years, and nobody knows where they are. So who knows? I don't know. We'll see how this ends up shaking out. Hopefully I hear some info about this pretty soon, because, yeah, I'd like to hear what ends up happening with this, because I'm a part of Coinbase. I'm one of those 100 million customers. There's a lot of people. I'm sure there's some people listening to this who might have an account with Coinbase, and it's concerning. But just if there's anything to be rest assured about, it's that only 1% or less of the customers had their information hacked. So you've got a 99% chance of not being on that list of customers that had their information stolen. So hopefully that'll help you sleep a little bit better tonight. But anyway, that's all I got. See you later.